And we are live in theory. Hello, 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 Miss Karen. Oh, there's other layouts you can do. That's interesting. I did not know that. And we've lost Dana. Hi, Karen.
Okay, I'm back.
Here's Dana. She's back. She's back.
We're live. Hi, Karen.
Hello, hello. I'm not showing live on my phone yet.
It says live right here.
Yours says, yeah, StreamYard says live. There it is. Now it's coming in. There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
Right here.
We are live. StreamYard
says live. Okay. I hear a delay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So you've got the official delay. Good morning, Karen. Thank you so much for popping in today. I hope we get a few more people, but we did change the time a little bit because Miss Dana's going to be making a delivery right about the time that we would have been going live. So that's why we did that. And as everybody knows, that 3 o'clock Sunday time is very fluid.
Yes.
Very fluid. And I know I end up working often on Sundays at the college. And I'm trying to get this just right here. I don't like that either. I end up working at the college on Sundays often. And 3 o'clock is just about when I need to be there. We might need to...
I think going on live at different times on Sundays gives other people, more people, different people chances to actually join us.
Right. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of playing duck, duck, goose and actually finding us.
Yeah.
But everybody knows, just check and see when it's going to be. Check and see when it's going to be. Oh, my goodness. I got to get back in the groove, having been gone. I feel like I was gone for 2 months. So I got to get back in the groove.
You're doing really good because you actually did homework.
I did do homework.
It's beautiful.
I did it yesterday, but I did it. It was in my plans to get done. I knew. I thought for sure I was going to tell you, okay, I didn't get my homework done. And I thought when I was at work yesterday, I'm like, nope, I've got to. I mean, how long does it take to crochet a washcloth?
Right.
So I did that yesterday afternoon. It took me, I got probably 2/3 of it done yesterday afternoon, and then I finished it off last night, and then I had to find my scissors and cut it. So I don't have my ends woven in, but I really like the way it turned out. So that's good.
I did my homework too, but I did it in my head.
Okay.
Because I had to drive. 3 military choppers headed my way.
Oh, and where are we today?
I'm in the Columbia River Gorge at the east end. I just left Arlington, Oregon, and I'm headed towards Portland. Yeah, 3 military choppers coming right up the river. That is not something we see very often around here.
No.
I was born and raised here, so pretty familiar with the sites and the history and all the things. Huh. Strange. It's a Sunday, too, so I don't know what this is.
And they could be doing maneuvers.
Yeah.
Do they do that sort of thing?
Maybe they were doing a weekend warrior kind of thing. I don't know. Trying to think where they'd be flying out of. I'm thinking they would be flying out of Portland area.
Yeah.
Don't know. They weren't shooting at anything, so. What? What are you laughing at?
I remember. So earlier this morning, Dana and I were discussing a couple of cities in the Portland area, and I said, "That sounds really familiar. I think that's where my daughter got married."
Woodburn.
So one of them was Woodburn, and the other one we were talking about was Woodinville.
Wilsonville.
And so I just remember.
Wilsonville.
Oh, Wilsonville. Okay. So Woodburn was the other.
And
so I texted my daughter. I'm like, oh yeah, I was going to ask my daughter. And so I just texted her and I said, what city did you get married in? And she's like, I don't remember.
oh, great. She doesn't remember? My goodness.
So then she decided it was Troutdale, but that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Troutdale is east of Portland. It's not south of Portland.
Well, I wouldn't know. I just drove
Oh,
there.
well. Yeah.
And it was like 18 years ago, so who knew?
Yeah. I'm almost to Rufus, Oregon, one of my favorite places.
Rufus? I don't think I remember that.
Rufus, Oregon. Okay, so it's about, 20 miles east of the Dalles. And of course, I grew up in the Dalles. And when we first moved to the Dalles, we didn't have a place to keep the horses. And of course, I was in high school rodeo and we were raising colts. So we went to the arena. We went to the property there in Rufus, Oregon that was owned by a guy named Mikey Beers, who is a world champion team roper. So I kept my horses and worked them at the Beers place in Rufus, Oregon. That was a long time ago. That was a century ago.
Yeah. Okay, so she got married in Troutdale. She's pretty sure it was Troutdale, and she lived in Woodburn. I knew Woodburn sounded familiar.
Wow, I wonder. Oh, did she go to McMenamin's to get married?
Yes.
McMenamin's. Oh, that's a great venue. Yeah. Because otherwise I'm thinking, why on earth would you go to Troutdale? The only thing there is McMenamin's.
Yep,
that's funny. Okay. I've been there once, I think.
It was beautiful.
A century ago.
And where they got married was actually inside of an old church. No, inside of an old theater. So the rows were all, on an angle, and then they walked up on the stage, on the platform. And so you could see everything. It was wonderful.
Wow. Well, what did you study this week, Robbin?
Okay. Let me see if I can remember. What we study, okay, we've done all of the basic stitches from single crochet through double. And so we're now on to reading a pattern. And that first, I think we've done 2 weeks of pattern reading. And the first one was, I was a little bit tangled up because it was where we had the asterisks and the brackets and all of that stuff. And she explained it very, very well. But still, until you do it a few times, and still, it depends on the pattern writer if they're using those things correctly. That's really
if they're following the standards.
Yeah. If the pattern writer is not using it correctly, then it doesn't make any difference if you know how to read it or not. You really just got to figure it out. But the very, very cool thing about the homework and about what I was excited about is we did our first chart. Now, she had us practice with the chart a little bit. Is that right? Chart, the symbols? Chart.
You can call it a chart, a diagram, or symbols.
Okay. So, because I get that confused with, like, I read a chart when I'm doing, like a graph, not a GraphGAN. Yeah, a GraphGAN.
Yeah, so a GraphGAN has a type of chart. Yeah.
So I get confused when we call it a chart. So I'm going to say symbols because that helps my brain a little bit.
Symbols and diagrams. Yeah.
Symbols and diagrams. So we're doing that. So, and again, that's the reason I'm taking this class, is to learn how to use the diagrams, the symbols and the diagrams. So this was our first opportunity to actually make something using the symbols and diagrams. And my immediate goal, my first thought process was that I was going to just use the chart and follow it along and see what I could come up with, the diagram. And what I ended up doing was, because, and I'll tell you why, because what I ended up doing was looking at the diagram, saying, okay, this is what I think this means, and then reading the pattern and seeing what she said. And I think I'm absolutely going to have to do that a few times. But one time I'm like, where am I supposed to be putting my hook? And I could look at that diagram and know exactly where I was supposed to put my hook.
Yes.
And so that is the reason for wanting to do this.
Yeah.
That's been my reason all along. There's so many times where I can't tell where a pattern wants me to put my hook. And I would have done it wrong if I was just reading her pattern. Because she had you do a chain up to the next row, which is very common. And then we did a single and 2 doubles in the stitch. And I would have done a single and then moved over and done the 2 doubles. And it would have looked okay.
Right.
So it was so nice to see exactly where I was supposed to put that chain. And
nice.
I thought you were
I'm getting yelled at.
Oh.
No, I got yelled at by the truck. Yeah.
Oh.
Please reduce speed. Oh. Blah, blah, blah.
That's hilarious. So I did follow the chart, and I did double check what I was doing with the instructions and the written instructions. And I found it very useful to go back and forth. At this point in time, I don't think I could pick up a chart and make something, because I still don't totally understand. And then the other day, so I'm working on, let me grab this hat that I did. I did this baby hat as a test pattern. It turned out so cute. So cute. So I did this baby hat as a test pattern, and it was a tiny little bit tricky. This is the cutest little thing. It's supposed to be a 3-month-old baby hat. And in her chart, or in the test pattern we were doing, there was a chart. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to look at this chart and see if I can follow just the chart. Well, I could not. And part of it was because this is done in the round. And so the chart had one little chunk of a repeat, and it started like in the middle of the row. Well, I don't know how to read a chart in the round. That's a different thing, apparently. So, but it was cool that I even knew I could tell the symbols. I knew what they meant. I kind of knew what they wanted. And this is a star stitch, so I could see where she wanted me to put my hook. So even if that's all I get out of it, I will have made progress. So what we made, oh, sorry. I just knocked the camera over. What we made this week is is that right set up or upside down? Here, it's just a dishcloth, and I just used the basic kitchen cotton yarn to make this dishcloth. And it's 1 row of double crochets and then 1 row of whatever this stitch is. She did never give it a name, but it's a single double in a stitch, and then you skip 2 and did it again all the way across. And I loved it because, I like the texture. It was easy, but it's got a little bit of interest in it. The other thing with the chart, I could easily see, oh, I need to have 7 of these little clusters for each row. And then at the end, I just have a double crochet. Easy peasy to figure out how much of something was in a repeat. Now, I do not know if charts normally have all that, or do they just give you one little chunk and say, okay, do this 12 times?
Right? Depends on the chart. Okay,
so Carla,
depends on the chart.
Yeah. Depends on the chart, depends on who wrote the chart, depends on all the things.
I have seen charts. I have seen charts like cut off and say, do this chunk of it so many times, and then the chart will pick up again as to how you finish off the row.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot more to it. But
yeah.
So the classes that we're doing, these are the American Crochet Association classes put on by
Salina Baca developed these.
Thank you, Salina Baca. Bella Coca came to my head, and I'm like, no, that's not right.
That's Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane, Salina Baca, both lovely ladies.
Yeah. So Salina Baca is the president, is the director, the head cheese, the head ball of yarn.
The founder and lead educator for the American Crochet Association.
Okay. And she was my guest a couple, 3 months ago now. And I just got a message from Amber. She's like, what are you doing? You're on our live. Oh, there she is. Hey, Miss Amber.
And so Salina Baca gifted Robbin this class.
Yes. And it's a very beginning crochet class, which, again, I've been crocheting my whole lifetime, and I have learned so much from this class. Every single week I have learned something. But my main objective from taking this class was to and I've read patterns since I was 7 years old. I don't know. And I've said this before. I don't even remember learning how to read a pattern. I have always read patterns. So when my grandma taught me to crochet, she must have taught me to read a pattern at the same time. No, Debbie, they're not free, but they're very, very reasonable. You can join the American Crochet Association, and it's about $10 a month. It's $30 a quarter. And within that $10 a month, you get all kinds of classes and things. Dana, it's
called the Learning Path is what I believe came with my crochet membership. And that Learning Path is huge. It's monstrous.
So many things included in it.
And then every month is something new that she's like, it's under the heading of crochet membership. Like for the first 3 months of the year, she did what did she do? Well, she did a Tunisian. We might be on the Tunisian right now. And it's all done in these little bite-sized chunks. So it's so easy to learn from her. Before that, it was a sweater, and it was an amazing sweater, and about sizing, and oh my goodness, it was wonderful.
Yeah. So all the classes are online. They are do at your own pace. Dana and I are each taking a different class because, like I said, I was gifted this one, and she had already purchased a different one. So in order for us to actually take the classes that we have, we came up with this Sunday program where each week we do our one chapter of the week and talk about what we've learned and how fabulous these classes are. Because, so many times, I mean, there's a million things out there where you can buy classes and do programs. Wow, my hair's starting to look decent. And sometimes they're just complete crap. And they're not well done, or the instructor doesn't do a good job. And so we wanted to give you guys, since both of us really enjoy Salina, we enjoy her work, we are both giving you 100% honest reviews of these classes. We're not telling you what you would, how do I say that? I'm not giving away the class, but
right. And that's proprietary anyway. Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to say, okay, do this and this and this. We're saying, this is what we did this week. This is what we discussed. This is what I got out of it. So my beginning class has been tremendous. Even a few weeks ago, I was stunned. Remember when we were talking about how to hold the crochet hook and how much denser our stitches were? Because
you've got to watch lifting those loops.
Mm-hmm. And I'm
And
a pencil
apparently that,
holder.
yeah, I'm a pencil holder too.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, well, no, that's a knife
No,
hold.
I'm a knife holder. And just as funsies that week, we were talking about the different ways of holding it. And I tried doing it as a pencil holder. And because I had to slow down and think about what I was doing, my stitches were so much nicer. And I never would have done that. I never would have tried that if it hadn't been for taking this class.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
been
about
amazing.
lift. It's about lift on your loops. Like as a knife holder, I'm trying to keep that hook very horizontal with, say, my row, and
Straight
very
as possible.
horizontal straight across with my work, and that keeps me from getting all those extra lifts and big floppy loops.
When I'm holding this as a knife, this is how I'm doing my stitch. I'm going like that and making a circle. And when I hold it like this, it's much straighter across.
Yes.
It's like a saw. So, yeah. So back to my charts. So I did the charts. I enjoyed the back and forth of it. One of the things I never knew was how to start reading it. What direction do I go? She's explained that to me. I did struggle with one thing. And even being done, I still don't understand it. And I'm probably going to send her an email and ask her. In the chart, this was a 2-row repeat. And in the chart, there's a fourth. We did a starting row, and then we did the 2-row repeat, and then you were done. But in the chart, it shows a 4th row. And
is that a finishing row?
No, because it's the same as row 2. So I think all they're doing is showing you what the next row looks like, because she's got row 1, 2, 3, and 4. But then it says repeat rows 2 and 3, ending on row 3. So, I mean, it's very clear that's what we were supposed to do. And that's what it says in the written instructions. So I think that 4th row is just showing us how to make the transition from row 3 to row 4.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it very well could be.
It's called the silt stitch. S-I-L-T. Silt stitch.
Silt stitch.
But I like it. I like the way it looks. And we did, how many rows did we did? We did repeat rows 2 and 3 until 13 rows are complete. So we did 14 rows. Cool. I don't know if I did 14 rows. I might have stopped too soon. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I should have done one more row.
But you practiced, what you were learning. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. And I do. I like it. I like the way it turned out. And
I love it.
As soon as I do my ends, I got another washcloth. I love these washcloths. You can't have enough of them.
Yeah.
Cannot have enough of them. And it worked up fast. I did not spend 2 hours on it. And, part of that was checking the thing, checking the pattern, checking the chart, checking the pattern, paying attention to what I was learning. Whereas now I could literally just pick this thing up and do it. I wouldn't even have to look at a pattern. So, and I literally just grabbed a partial ball of yarn out of my stash, which I can't even find the rest of it. I didn't use, I don't know how much I used, not very darn much, a few grams. I don't think I used 100 yards. So I got a great deal out of this week. And I'm super excited to have a positive experience and with something that I was excited to learn. So that's not always the case. That is not always the case.
Right.
One thing I wish she would have done, and this has been my drawback on other people that have done training videos on a symbol chart, is last week she showed us very simple. This is a symbol for a double crochet. This is a symbol for a single crochet. This is a symbol for a chain. Just follow it along. What I wanted to see was show me step by step, because I'm a show me person. show me, okay, this means do 12 chains. So, and then she would do 12 chains. Now we're going to go here, and this means this. Do that for me for 2 or 3 rows with some different things so I could visually see you describing each step of the chart.
Right.
Because I had the pattern to go back and forth with, I feel like I got the same experience. But that's what I have been looking for in a video. And that's what I have never gotten. Because they always
I believe there are some really old videos of Mikey's doing that exact same. And he's drawing it out on a whiteboard, and he's explaining it, and then he's showing you. Yeah, Mikey's great for that. Yeah.
Mikey is, and Mikey also is, I've watched him recently do some, he was struggling really badly with something he was making. And finally, he sat down and created a chart from the pattern so he could see what he was doing. And he showed us the whole process.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, that's it. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Because some of these patterns just don't make any sense. And I think that's why we rely so much on videos. And we've moved, I don't want to say we're moving away from the written pattern, but I like a video written pattern combination. And that's because patterns aren't always well written. And sometimes I can't make the connection of what you're showing me in a pattern and what I need to see you do. So that's why I was looking for that chart. And I think
and I did that in the crochet skills development course. I did that. I had the students in the video pattern, and then I had him. Can you hear me?
You're going in and out. No.
Okay, let me get around the corner.
Okay.
Let me get I'll get around the corner.
Okay.
Well, I'll have more when I get around the corner.
Okay. I'll just say hi to a few people. There's Jet One in. Hi. So
hi,
nice
Carrie.
To see you today, Debbie.
Carrie was one of my big winners last week.
Ooh, nice. If you guys didn't know, Dana's got several giveaway videos running, one of which is going to be running for a few weeks, but there's no point in anybody putting in for it because I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it. She's giving away. Can I tell people what you're giving away?
Yeah. Go ahead.
The video's out there. She's giving
away. It's the only giveaway running right now.
Yeah, it's running right now. I'm so jelly because she's giving away a Crochet Society box that I watched her open around Christmas time. And that box is what convinced me that I needed to join Crochet Society. That box. So then I hurried and joined, and I couldn't get that box anymore. And now she's giving it away. So my name is in for the drawing. I'm going to win that box. It's only right. It's only right that I win that box. So y'all can go over there and put in for it. You just have to make a nice comment on her video. And of course, she would never tell you, but you need to subscribe to her, people. If for some bizarre reason not, you need to subscribe to her. It is not a requirement of the giveaway because that's against YouTube rules. But I'm telling you, go subscribe to Miss Dana.
Well, if you subscribe, then you hopefully, it's hit or miss. Hopefully you'll get notified when the drawing video goes up. But that isn't always the case.
No, it is not.
Kind of got to check back. And here's the thing with that giveaway, you can comment more than once. Don't be spammy. Do something different every time you comment. Try to keep it down to 1 comment a day at the most. I'm not kidding. And I will not filter out duplicates. Bag a Day started doing this a couple years ago. Just, you don't have to comment just once. You can comment more than once, and I uncheck the box for filtering duplicate comments. But you're welcome to come back and comment again, and just don't make it spammy. Just do me a favor and Don't make it spammy.
In theory, if you cut and paste your comments, that annoys YouTube a lot. And
I
don't believe that they do any of the things they say they do, because
Yeah.
if that were the case, we wouldn't have all this junk that we fight with all the time.
Right.
Like all the spammers and all of the nasty comments and things. But
yeah. Okay.
I will be in there every day. You're on, Carly. You're on. Carly says,
okay, is it my turn?
I win. It's your turn.
Okay, who says what?
Carly said if she wins the drawing, she's giving it to me.
Oh, that is so nice. Okay, so what I was starting to say was, I haven't done a crochet skills development course video in a couple of years. I do plan on doing another one, but the way I did it was, I would have people I'd tell them what we're going to make, explain the stitch to them, and then I would have them take pen and paper and write out the pattern for the rows, for each row, and we would also do a chart. I would have them do the chart, write the chart, and watch me write the chart. Yes, that's how I did the crochet skills development course. So there are those of us who get that. I get that. That's what we want. Yeah. Now the videos I have up there, they're way elementary for you, Robbin, but you might check out how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so my classes. So I subscribed, I paid $29 a quarter. And I believe the learning path, the great big learning path with these, months, if I did one class every day with the homework, it would probably take me 6 months or longer to do this whole learning path.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how big it is. And I believe that came with my membership. There are other things that come with membership. They're great crochet challenges, and they're all meant to be teaching based. Mm-hmm. So in this particular module of the learning path, I am on reading a pattern, and it includes charts.
Oh, that's
so fun. So I have completed the one I did yesterday was the 4th class of this particular learning module, and that's on charts. And so I did okay because I've been pretty okay at understanding charts. I don't understand them every time. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Some charts I'm like, I can't see that. I just can't get my head around it. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, a well-printed chart I can handle. Now, round 4 of this motif that was part of our homework, I got a little lost because it looked like X's. And you did an X in one chain space, and then in the next chain space you did a fan. I'm like, what is an X? Does that mean just skip that chain space? That, the geometry doesn't work if I just skip that chain space. Well, then I go look at the pattern, and it was a cross, a plus sign, which is a single crochet, but it was on its side because I don't know why. Maybe because it was a diagram in the round. But, that confused me. And then, and it's just really well explained in the video and the follow along download cheat sheet, she calls it. It's just such nice little bite-sized learning modules.
You just mentioned the cheat sheet, and I wonder if there was something on a cheat sheet that I don't know if I looked at the cheat sheet this time.
See, and I always scan it at least before I watch the video. Oh. And that gives me a double impression. And then I go and I take the 10 question quiz.
Right, because you have tests.
I have 10 question quizzes at the end of each little class. Mm-hmm. And I actually missed one because I got confused between an oval and a dot.
Yeah.
And an oval was the
Oval's a chain.
Is a chain, and the dot was a slip stitch, and I got those backwards.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't dealt with a slip stitch yet.
Yeah, it's just a closed-in dot.
Okay.
Where the open oval is a chain. So
Debbie's asking a question. She says, do they have any lace charts for crocheting? Debbie, there are a zillion million charts out there in the world. As far as American Crochet Association, I do not know, because I'm only up to where I'm up to. I don't know what they have beyond
and
it.
she's asking about
lace charts. I know for a fact there is a
LACE?
million lace charts. LACE.
Yeah, there's a million lace charts out there.
Because back in the day, we would buy pattern books and it was all charts. And a lot of it was lace. A lot of it was doilies. A lot of it was that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would help tremendously with those.
Lace is kind of where crochet evolved from. Well, it is. Yeah. So my next class, I start a new module, and it's on gauging and sizing. So we're not talking about swatches anymore, as when she says gauge. We're talking about sizing a project, like wearables. And I'm really excited to get into that. Now, I believe, and here's just you heard it here first, folks. I think I'm going to be teaching a workshop on an American Crochet Association pattern at the Pacific Northwest Yarning Social. Right? So I am going to purchase and go through her teaching class.
Yep.
So
she's got a mini one that I did.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I'm right there with you. I would like to do the full size one.
Yes. So I'll be doing that between now and then. So, and there are so many different classes.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. She's nagging at me.
Yelling at you.
Please reduce speed. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Whatever. So I didn't, the homework was to do this motif that's done in the round, and it's done in a chart and with a paper, or a written pattern, and there was also a washcloth. Well, I took the time to look at them and do them in my head. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. But I didn't take the time. Yeah, I did something. I don't remember. But yeah, and but I didn't physically take the time to do it because I'm driving truck.
Right.
So, but I am very excited about moving on to the gauge and sizing. And I think, I don't remember how many classes are in that module. So I just finished the reading a pattern and charts. I love going through all these.
That's going to be really interesting because I think
yes.
One of the reasons that I struggle with making wearables is because of the sizing. I don't want to spend all that time making something and have it just fit terribly.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of steps to go through before you actually sit down and start crocheting the dang project. Mm-hmm. A lot of steps. And I've watched it. The only reason I know that is because I've watched videos on it, and the gauge swatch is much more than just how many stitches per so much. There's more math involved in it when you're trying to size something. Yeah. And the best person to learn how to size to is yourself.
Right. I know, when I was on my trip, the only project I took with me was the socks because I I'm hell bent on getting that sock figured out. And there were so many measurements and so many sizing. And I have ended up making that thing so darn big that I know I'm going to just go through the exercise of doing the heel and all of that stuff. And then I'm going to rip it out because it's going to be way too big. Even though I followed their suggestions, it still ends up too big. So,
right. Well, and you might talk to the sock queen herself, Karen, KB Fibers.
I planned on doing that.
Yeah. She sent me the most beautiful, beautiful pair of beaded socks.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
They're gorgeous.
And I do know at one point she said, I always cast on this much. But I got big old fat feet. I don't have fat ankles. I don't have a fat calf. I have a fat calf. Like knee socks don't work for me. But, you know, the everyday basic, you know, sock that's got this tall of a thing, they work fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those.
But I'm a 9.5. And everybody that does the videos, they're all like, I have a size 7. I wear a size 6. And I'm like, those are not going to fit me. So I went up to the large instead of, because they all make a medium. And I went up to the large and it's huge. It is huge. It's probably going to fit Mr. And so he made a pair of purple socks, which he would be thrilled with.
Sure.
But he does have the big fat ankles. He has to be careful. And that's the problem with this. The ribbing on this is about this big around. But I haven't picked it up since I've been home because I got other projects that are pressing, like that darn baby blanket, because that baby's a-coming.
You better get that baby blanket done.
Any minute now. Any minute now. I had to do my homework.
Yes. And you've only been home for about 5 minutes.
A few days, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just made it through the Dells, where I was born and raised. Brings back so many memories to be here. I love it. So I'm headed to Woodburn. I'm headed through the gorge. Headed to Woodburn to drop this trailer, pick up another one, and go spend the night in the yard. Oh, you are going to stay in the yard?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to call them when we're done here. And, okay, what do you think? Do you see a load out there coming, or can I bobtail over to Mom's and spend the night?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling I'm going to spend the night at the house, which is good because I need to get my mail. I got new these LifeWave patches I've got to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out.
Okay, so, oh, Carly, thank you. Carly put a note on hers that when you pick her name, to just give it to me. I think everybody just needs to do that. That's so sweet of you, Carly. You don't have to do that. It's a lovely box, and you will enjoy it tremendously if you.
Oh, the yarn is just so squishy goodness, and of course, it's a nice hook. Not as good as my favorite hook, but it's a very nice hook. And that planner, that crochet planner that comes with it, I don't like the binding, but I love the pages.
Yeah.
You can fix that somehow.
Carly, can you hang on for just a minute? We've got a giveaway, and I'd hate to have you leave before we do that. We can do that drawing.
Yeah, we should. Let's do that drawing.
Let's do that drawing right now. So we are giving away, Miss Salina has given us a set of classes to give away. And, do you remember the name of the class?
Crochet Skill Builder. It's like a next step of crochet. Is it the Skill Builder?
I think so.
Okay.
You own it, and I'm going to have to buy it because that's the next class that we're going to do. We're going to follow on when we're done with this. I'm about halfway done with mine, with this one I'm doing. And so next time we're going to be working on the same one. So let's do that giveaway right now. Oh, hi, Miss Lisa. In fact, Lisa was one of our winners. I think we won it the first week, in fact.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's do this. Let me make sure I'm doing this right.
Okay, you need to share. You need to come up with a word.
I do a sharing thing, don't I? How do I? Oh my gosh, 2 or 3 weeks, and I can't remember how to do any of this stuff. Okay, share screen,
Okay.
giveaway tool, bring it up.
So
Okay,
bring up the first. Hold on. Okay. you don't have to do it yet, but okay. So type in whatever word you're going to use.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So let's pick a word. Let's pick an easy word. How about yarn? YARN. Okay. So everybody who wants a chance to win this class, if you've already won it, please don't enter again. And type in the word yarn. Do I push the button now?
Yes, you push the button now. There you go. Now we'll just wait. Give everybody some time. Of course, yarn has probably been mentioned a couple times today because it's a yarny channel.
It is a yarny channel. Da 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 da. Usually I yell at Miss Morgan to enter, but she's driving.
Yep. She's headed over Snoqualmie.
Okay, we've got 4 entries. Come on, folks. I know we got 12 people in the chat. I'm going to put in for Morgan. Yarn. Nope, I can't spell, for God's sake. She would do so well with this class.
You know, everybody would. The way she does these bite-sized chunks. Now, I need to let you know, Robbin, that by the time you get to the crochet skill building course, I'm still going to be on the learning path.
Yeah.
So we won't be on it at the same time, but I have perused through it. So, I mean, I know what's in it. Yay! Here we go.
Okay, we've got 6 people entered. Anybody else? Anybody else want to put in for this? I'll tell you what, these classes are amazing. I know there's Missy, and I know a couple of people have that are in here have already won it, so they're not putting in.
Right.
So,
yeah.
All right. We got 7 entries now. Okay, let's do that drawing. So, yeah, you guys do see me in there, and I'm putting in for Miss Morgan because she's driving right now. I know she's listening, but
hi, Morgan.
She can't reply. So, okay, here we go. I'm doing the drawing, and it is.
Yay! Spin, spin, spin.
Yay,
Missy Lee! Whoop whoop!
It looked like Morgan was going to win there for 1 second.
Sorry, Morgan.
I love your little I love your design. That's so cute. So Missy, let me get out of here. Let me close this. Go back to here. Get off of that. Unshare. Whoops. Go back. Remove. Okay. So Missy, what you need to do is send an email to me. And let me get to the email address. Where is it? Okay, don't worry about the date on here. It's just the email address. So send an email, please, to that email address. And what I do is I forward that email on to Salina, and she will send you the link to the class. She sends you a link and a password to get into the class. So congratulations, Missy. This is a wonderful gift. This is a wonderful class.
Oh, it is nice.
So I'm very, very excited that you won. And thank you guys all for joining in. We're just going to chit chat because, you know, it's me.
Skill building workshop, I think is what it's called. Skill building workshop.
I'll have to look at it's been a couple of weeks. My brain is not fully functioning yet. So I appreciate you guys joining us today. And in theory, we're doing this pretty much every Sunday. It's a short little live, somewhere in the neighborhood of an hour, not the marathon lives like Dana has for 5 freaking hours. Speaking of which, are you going to be doing a flower garden live here anytime soon?
What's today? Sunday?
It is Sunday.
I think I'll do one tonight.
Ooh, that
A
sounds fun.
flower garden party tonight. I don't know what time. I'm going to say 5-ish, 6-ish Pacific time, somewhere like that. We'll do a flower garden party.
That sounds
I need to
good.
work on it.
I haven't touched mine in a while, a week or two before I left. So it's not.
Yeah.
I just got a couple of deadlines. And during your flower garden, I might work on that baby blanket because I got to get that done.
Good idea.
I got to get
Good
that
idea.
done. And I have to go to the store. Mister's having a procedure done later in the week, so I got to go pick some things up that he needs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got that before 5 o'clock because he starts a liquid diet at 5 o'clock.
Oh.
And yeah.
When I was doing liquid diet before and after my surgery, I could not stand broth unless it was better than bouillon in the jar, or I would just buy vegetable beef or chicken noodle, and I would just strain out the food
because
drink that.
The seasoning on that is so good.
It is so good. But if you do bouillon cubes or chicken stock, bone broth, out of the
Yeah. Well, he actually likes the bone broth. So,
does he? Well, I think there's more salt and more flavor in a bone broth than just a plain chicken or beef broth.
Yeah. And he, when he had his surgery here a couple of months ago, he was on liquid diet for 6 weeks, and we went through cases of that bone broth. And I think I've got 2 left in there, so that'll be good. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what that is, and then get ready for the week.
And Joe Dog, are you still interrupting his nap?
He moved over to Dad's chair, so he's napping over there now.
Oh yeah, because Dad's easier to nap with. You're all over the place.
I know, and I've got junk everywhere. And the problem with Joe Dog is he'll jump up on this side of the couch, which I have cleared off for him, crawl over my lap, and then want me to move all the stuff that I've got over here.
Yeah. Well, he wants to be in the middle of your stuff.
That's exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
That crochet stuff's awful cozy to sleep on.
Well, and it smells like you, and you're part of the pack.
Mm-hmm. His little pack's getting smaller and smaller. Guess what?
What?
We're getting a kitten.
Oh my goodness.
Miss Morgan found a kitten she wants to have.
Okay. Well, it's little kitty time.
When we were gone, she said, "Can I get a kitten?" I'm like, "Yes, you can get a kitten." So it's a friend of hers at work's cat it was a Maine Coon. So they're half Maine Coon and half whoever got into the gate. But all but one of them is orange, and I've never had an orange cat, and they're so pretty. So
I've had an orange cat.
This way I get to have a kitten without it being my responsibility.
Yeah.
So the kitties are they're probably 5 weeks old now. So it won't be too long and we'll have a kitten.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Baby kitties. They're so fun.
I don't think Joe's ever been around a kitten. At least he hasn't since we've had him. And we've had him for probably 8 years. So this is going to be interesting. But him and Morgan's cat have started playing. They chase each other. He barks at the cat. The cat hisses at him. So I think both of them are ready to have a little more interaction. So that's going to be good. Yeah. So you're probably going to do a live tonight. So you guys be watching out for that. Tomorrow night is bingo. We're back to bingo. Don't forget, it is a new quarter. So you've got to give me your new numbers. And
I got to remember to do that.
You've already done it.
I have? Okay.
Yep.
I've slept since then, so I don't remember.
Miss Dana put a note in hers that said, there's no point in anybody else putting in numbers because I'm winning everything.
That doesn't sound anything like me.
Not even a little. Oh, interesting. So if you haven't put your numbers in already, make sure you go over there and put in your bingo numbers. If you can't find the link, I'm assuming we're going to have several people joining us from bingo tomorrow at 4:30 Pacific. And you can always give me your numbers then. And thankfully, I won't have Miss Morgan.
You won't have, it'll be pretty chaotic if people don't put their numbers in where they're supposed to.
Please go put your numbers in because Robin's going to be a mess without Miss Morgan on the first night of a new quarter of bingo.
Yeah. Do her a favor. Don't wait until the last minute.
Because it's going to be a mess. But I am caught up to everybody that's in there right now. And
did you check the held for review?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
I did. And the last time I looked, there wasn't any. About a few days ago, there was 2 in there. And I do all that right before we start bingo anyway.
Yeah.
And I have not. I was going to say I've already put the numbers in the description so you could check, but I have not done that. I was going to wait till. No, I did. I did already put, because I was looking at how many spaces. So if you think you've got numbers put in there, you can check the description box already and see if they're there. Make sure I did not make a mistake when I was inputting numbers. Because, that's a thing, too. I have been known to do that. Transpose a number, get fat fingers. So, yeah, so we're all excited about bingo. And then on Tuesday at 10 o'clock Pacific, which is noon Central, we have Rad Girls Lunch Break.
Rad Girls. Rad Girls.
So,
it was just me and Robbin last week.
Yeah, it was. It was nice. Me and Robbin and I was in the airport eating my lunch, having my lunch break.
Yep.
It just happened that the time for the show was when I was waiting for a plane at the airport.
And I was actually crocheting.
Yeah, that's right. You got to actually crochet. That was weird.
I know.
Okay, Debbie's gonna go for supper. What are you making for supper, Debbie?
What's for dinner?
I had a very old, frozen, kind of nasty corn dog for lunch. And what did he make for
corn
dinner?
dog.
He made.
I like jalapeno corn dogs. Jalapeno and cheese.
Jalapeno. Can't do the spice.
Yeah, I like those. And I'm not a spicy person, but I like a jalapeno corn dog.
So what are you having, Debbie? What are you going to fix?
Yeah,
I don't have any idea what we're having. I know there's some leftovers in there, which I am, pork steak, mashed potatoes with gravy and asparagus.
Nice. I had leftover prime rib for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Because I spent the night at the Boise stage stop, and I got me some prime rib.
I got to let the dog out. Hang on.
Bye, Joe Dog.
Come on, let's go outside.
Joe Dog's got to go out. Got a little heartburn. But yeah, we'll do a fruit garden party tonight, 5 or 6-ish Pacific time. Add 3 hours for Eastern time. Seriously? This car just pulled up in front of me doing 40 miles an hour.
Of course.
Causing me to hit the brakes. And now they're not going to let me get by it. They're just going to stay ahead of me. People do not know how to drive.
No, they do not. If anybody has a Costco nearby, going to do a Costco run. I found this at Costco yesterday. I've purchased it before, and it is unbelievably fantastic. And then they didn't have them anymore. And so I ended up buying it at the regular store, paying twice as much. And so when I saw this at the store at Costco again yesterday, I grabbed it. This is pure heaven. It is a Girl Scout Thin Mint pretzel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a pretzel covered with dark
Thin
chocolate.
Mint.
I'm not a dark chocolate person, but I'll tell you what, these are fabulous. So it's a pretzel covered in dark chocolate with the Thin Mint flavor. Oh, don't look at the calories on the back, just enjoy them.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
It's 130 calories for 4 of them, and I guarantee you are not eating 4 of them. Guarantee. These are so good. And this was in the neighborhood of $10 for this great big. And I paid $10 for a teeny tiny little bag after these weren't available at Costco anymore. So when I saw these yesterday, even though this is not on my eating plan, I grabbed them.
I have been really good lately.
I see a cheat day in the future.
Only if they give me my donuts.
Let's get
tomorrow.
real. I've been on a cheat day since I left for my vacation.
I have been really good.
So I was gone for over 2 weeks and I gained 4 pounds. And I was good. I stayed on my food plan for about 3 days, and then that was the end of that. I ate anything I felt like eating, and I drank anything I felt like drinking. And I thought 4 pounds was a pretty darn good. And I've already lost 2 of them since I've been home.
Good. Yeah.
I'm pretty pleased with
that. Nip that in the bud. So you enjoyed yourself, and now you're back on track. Good job.
Once trouble is I'll be back on track.
Once I cheat, it's a snowball.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It takes days, sometimes weeks, for me to get back on.
Mm-hmm.
So good for you.
Yeah, I just knew that. And one of the things that they said to help keep you on track on a cruise is only eat one dessert. Because I'm a sugar person, and the desserts get me every time. And it was only eat one dessert. And so usually the best desserts are at dinner time, at the dinner. And so for the first 3 days, that's what I did. I only ate one dessert at dinner. And then I found the carrot cake place.
Uh-oh, rut-row, Raggy.
Oh, it was so good.
You know what my downfall is, of course, is an unglazed buttermilk bar. And
they don't have donuts on cruise ships. That's not true. The one I'm going on this summer has a donut shop.
Yeah, but there's donuts and then there's donuts.
Right.
There's Dunkin' Donut kind of donuts, grocery store kind of donuts, and then there's things like buttermilk bars and all those things.
I love the ones with the cream filling. Oh.
Yeah, I do too. But my buttermilk bar, that's my thing.
Yeah. Ooh, Lisa Grammy is having pork egg rolls, which I love. Pot stickers,
pork egg rolls,
and rice and mixed vegetables. That sounds like a very good dinner. I cannot remember what Mr. made last night. It was odd. I remember now. He cooked chicken tenders, just chicken strips, not the breaded ones, just actual chicken in the air fryer.
Okay.
And he made this stuff that I had bought in a package, and it was a pasta with a sauce, and I think it had an alternative meat thing in it, because I remember it wasn't a meat thing, and then chunks of squash. It was
I love squash.
Good. It
wasn't good?
No.
Oh.
And
alternative meat is not good.
Yeah, and I want to say that I picked that up when he was on his liquid diet. As he was transitioning to softer foods, he was allowed to have pasta, and so I knew everything in there he could have. And he ended up not eating it while he was doing that. But the sauce was kind of odd, and it had a little bit too much heat for me. And he couldn't eat it because it had beans in it, and right now he can't have beans. So I was the only one that ate it. So I'll bet you there's a bunch of that left over. I bet you we're having that tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe if he throws some meatballs in it, it'll help.
And ketchup.
But he can't have it either. So
oh no,
he still can't have it. Ugh, so I'm gonna be stuck eating all of that.
Joe Dog might. It sounds like Joe Dog wouldn't even eat it.
No, Joe Dog can't eat people food or he throws up.
Oh, that's right. He has a special diet.
Yeah, he's got pancreatitis.
Yeah.
Dog. That dog, I swear. Oh. But he was happy. He just went outside, and I didn't know Mister was out there, so he went to go outside, and there was Mister, and he was all very happy to have found his daddy.
Daddy.
Yeah. So that sounds really good, Lisa. That sounds really, really good. So tomorrow, I'm fine with leftovers or a sandwich. Mister wants a meal with every meal. He will cook breakfast. He will cook lunch. He will cook dinner. And I'm like, he'll be like, what are you going to eat? And I go, peanut butter sandwich. Oh, I'll make you something. And he gets up and goes and cooks. Even if he can't eat, he does that.
Wow. He likes cooking.
He does like to cook. And I like to eat. So it has really worked out quite well. As I blossomed.
Oh my goodness.
However many pounds I was at my high weight. Because not only does he like to cook, he thinks he's cooking for 12 people.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
well, he doesn't want to be hungry afterwards.
No, he does not. And I don't either. I hate it when I invite people over. I want enough food for you to be full and take stuff home. How many of you in here? I think this is the most interesting thing. Oh, hi, Blind Stitches Creations. Hi. I'm sorry I missed seeing you when you popped in. I was thinking about you yesterday. But I'm not going to tell you why, because you'll yell at me. How many of you do not eat leftovers?
I eat leftovers.
I love leftovers. I mean, he'll make spaghetti and I'll say, make sure you make enough. Make sure you make enough. And to me, that means make sure there's enough to eat it for several days because I want it every day. And my daughter's family will not eat leftovers. And she does.
Well, I have to like what it is.
Well, yeah. But
yeah, I mean,
if I'm making spaghetti, if I'm making a roast, if I'm making anything that I'm going to
But
make.
leftovers of a meal like you just described with the pasta and the faux meat,
well, it wasn't even good as Thirsties, so
yeah,
leftovers is going to be hard with that one.
Yeah, I'm not disciplined enough to make myself eat it, because it would be a waste of food, which I hate waste, but I'm not sure I would be disciplined enough to eat it. I'd probably be doctoring it up a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if even doctoring up is going to help this one. But, and I know it's going to be, yes, Karen, that's exactly right. Always said have enough for everyone to take some home. And that's what we do when we cook. It's so funny. I can remember for Mr.'s birthday, he wanted Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I had all these coupons and I went down there and I bought like 3 buckets of chicken. And because we invited a bunch of people over, and my friend, the Muggle, she ate. And then when she left, a couple days later, she's like, what are you doing? And I says, oh, we're eating leftovers for dinner. What are you having? I'm leftover KFC. And she goes, I didn't know there was any. She wanted more and didn't think there was enough chicken, so she didn't take more. And I'm like, oh, dear God, no. I had like 2 more buckets in the oven. Stay over. And I'm like, you want plenty of food. But
I just can't do KFC anymore. How many of you feel that KFC today is not the KFC of 20 years ago, 30 years ago? It is not.
Not the same.
It is so awful.
It
is just
salty.
Well, I think the original recipe is not the original recipe, or it's not cooked the same. It's like not cooked all breading isn't cooked all the way through.
Yeah, it's always
And
kind of gummy. And I wonder
yeah,
if it's
gummy.
because of the oils that they use. Because, you know, they've gone to different oils these days. And I'll bet you that's
Seed oils, which are
Mhm.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Canola.
if
Lisa
they would
says,
just do it
I
in
make a
lard.
pot of chili or soup or a big roast. I used to have 6 kids in the house, and that's how you cook. And that's it with Mister. They had 5 kids, and growing up, you know, his mom, they always worked on a farm or a ranch, so she was cooking for all the ranch hands. So he only knows how to cook for 20 or 30 people. So, but yeah, but no, I can't believe I'll go to my daughter's house and I'm like, that's all you're going to fix? Nobody will eat leftovers. She might eat it for one day, but
Yeah.
her husband absolutely won't touch anything leftover. Absolutely. And the kids, it's hit and miss. Some of it they'll eat leftovers, but they never, like if she makes a casserole in a 9x12, a fourth of it gets thrown away every time because they just flat won't eat the leftovers.
Wow. Well, like sometimes I like if I go into a restaurant in the evening after I park, I will order 2 meals. Like
Yeah.
I'll get myself a steak for dinner and then I'll order a, build your own omelet and I'll eat that for breakfast because,
Mhm.
I'm not fit and I'm not going to eat it all at one sitting. So
Right.
I eat all that for a day or so, munch on it all day long.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky because Mr. likes leftovers. I like leftovers, and most things he cooks, we have leftovers. It's pretty rare we don't have at least one meal left over, if not 2 or 3, and that just makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah, freeze it in a vacuum sealed package and then present it as a new meal a couple of days later.
Right. There you go.
She also doesn't cook. I love my daughter. She does not cook. She heats things up.
So
They eat a lot.
here, go ahead.
She buys a lot of those pre-done meals at Costco. There's 5 of them. So one of those bags of meals or something is pretty much one meal for them. So,
Yeah.
but she's not much of a from scratch cooker.
Yeah. So earlier I told you to tell Morgan it was dry and clear yesterday, so hammer down. Well, has it started raining there yet?
Not here. It sure looks like it's gonna. The weatherman
Well,
earlier said about 4 o'clock.
well, it started raining just before I got to Hood River, so I'm in the gorge now and it's raining. So if she's going over Snoqualmie, she's probably getting rain, cussing me out.
So it's 60 degrees and cloudy. It's supposed to start raining in about an hour, and then it's going to only rain for a couple of hours.
Well, I'm pretty far west of you, southwest.
Yeah.
It's raining pretty good. Of course, it's the gorge in April. That's all it does. All it does. And it'll probably rain all the way into Portland and down to Woodburn.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Well, folks, we're well over our hour that we said it would be. So I'm gonna close this off. It's been delightful. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow at bingo. Please make sure you go and put your numbers in because it's going to be ugly for me come bingo time on the first night of a new quarter without Miss Morgan. I will be a little stressed. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be a little stressed. So I'm going to let you guys go, and we'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget Rad Girls Live at lunch break on Tuesday.
Yes.
All right.
See you guys.
See you. Bye-bye.